Hello, welcome back. This is Kari Waltz, and I'm again in my studio. I filmed this a little earlier today, so if you show up at 2, it's not live, but I'm recording it live. But I just want to thank you all for joining me on this 10-week journey of drawing. I hope that many more of you continue as you add to your drawing skills. And if I can help in any way, my email is at the bottom of the comments, and you can send me a picture to tell me what you're working on, or if you have any questions. This will give me ideas for future videos. But I think drawing is a great foundation for your painting skills and your observation skills. And I hope it brings you a lot of joy. So today we're going to venture a little different path and go where we work with patterns and more of a non-objective look. If you see the mandala next to me, this is a very methodical, relaxing, non-threatening way to draw. And you think, oh, that's non-threatening. That's so complicated. Well, when I show you how to do it, you'll realize that it's just one repeated line after another. And it goes back to lesson 1, where we talked about the elements of shape, which the straight line, angle line, circle. I think you'll really enjoy this. So all you need is a pen or a pencil, and I would recommend a square piece of paper. It's a lot easier to work with. If you have a compass, go ahead and pull that out. If you like to be exact, then you can get your ruler, but really it's designed to be freehand. But I'm going to show you 2 methods, a freehand and one that uses tools. So either way, whatever is more calming for you, that's the one I want you to use. So again, thank you for those of you who have joined me on this. I have I'm really close to 300 subscribers, which I'm really excited because honestly, I officially started this channel about 6 months ago. So I'm trying to figure out things that'll be helpful to you. And we'll see if today is one of those. So I'm going to shift the camera so that I have full focus of what we're going to draw today. And I'm in the background. This is just one example. It was done in a purple ballpoint pen. So I'm going to start with a pen. I'm going to start with a small sheet of paper. This is 5.5 by 5.5. And I just took a sheet of copy paper and made 4 squares out of it. The first one I'm going to show you is freehand. And ideally, I want you to put this dot. We're going to make a circle, fill it with ink or pencil, whatever. Consider this the seed. You are going to grow calming thoughts, and you're going to repeat what you do multiple times. And because of that, I'm going to be rotating my paper. It's a lot easier for me to draw that same shape, same length, if I just rotate my paper rather than try to draw something and move around. So think of this as the seed to calm thoughts. And we're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Also, I want you to think nothing is wrong. Can't do it. You can't make a mistake with this. So whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to draw, if it's a curved line, a straight line, if you want to connect them, connect them. If you want to have something sticking out. Anyway, it'll make sense as we go. So I'm not trying to make it look like a flower. It just happened to be kind of look that way. I just wanted to connect those. Okay, so let's connect it again. Let's make a point this time. So I'm going to point. So what if it's not the same size? It's close. And I am just letting my mind relax, and it's really hard to do that when I'm talking. So I would recommend when you're doing this that you find a quiet place. I mean, this is a great thing to do even when you're stuck waiting for something, like in a doctor's office, and you have a piece of paper. Those little square Post-its are great for this. You can just rotate them in your hand, and people think you're nuts, but that's okay. People already think I'm nuts. And I just look at this and I go, what do I want to do next? I think I'll come out from this point and do a curve. So I want to feel how far I went, kind of repeat that. Might not be the exact same, but when I rotate it, I'm going to feel that shape and feel the length. That's kind of fun. Oh, I say fun a lot, sorry. And if it bothers you, make that a little longer. Don't worry about it. Okay, angle line. I might put a dot right here. Or a circle. And come around and put a circle. There can be things floating in the air. But whatever you want. But just repeat it each time. And when you draw it and think about how big it is, how the direction you went, so that if you pay attention to the shape and how you're creating it, it's going to be easier to repeat. Now what do I want to do with that? Well, let's make a straight line this time, and let's just connect those two. So I'm going to make a straight line and connect those two. I had no idea what this is going to look like. And that's the fun part. You don't try to anticipate. You don't try to make it anything. That's what helps it be relaxing. So if the other kind of drawing hasn't been relaxing for you, if you stress out, this is a good thing to do. Okay, let's see. What have we not done in a while? Angle, straight line, combination. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? That reminds me of the scroll. Even though I'm not trying to make it look like something, I am going to angle each of those down, just like we did that scroll, or even the single vanishing point. If this is a vanishing point, if this point right here is a vanishing point for that, then I'm going to create lines for that. If you don't know what I'm talking about by vanishing point, I think my number 6 was a single point vanishing. Let's see if I can think when I'm drawing. Can't talk when I'm drawing. You definitely think. And I'm not trying to make it into anything. I'm just playing with the lines and seeing where it goes. But it's creating kind of an interesting pattern. I can go from the point of this. Let's see. What do I want to do? Go straight out, straight up. Let's go back over here. Okay, so you see how the process goes. See, I'm not even try to get the same size. But playing around with it is just kind of fun. I said that again. Sorry. All right. That gives you an idea. And I could go on and on and on. You can come back and you can add shadow and shading. You can add color. Oh, one thing I do like to do is echo a line. So let's do that right here. So echo a line means I'm going to start out from the line. I'm going to come in and I'm echoing that line. So I'm just repeating the line further out. Okay, I did that 3 times. So I'm going to rotate here and echo that line. 1, 2, 3. You can do it however many times you want. If you don't want to echo it all, that's fine. But it's just another way to fill in some space and to feel that repetition and pattern. And I don't know if you're familiar with Zentangle. Zentangle is a method of drawing that uses doodling, and they create patterns. So I would check that out if you like anything like this. They have official Zentangle teachers. I am not one. But the patterning and the repetition, they call that, the name Zentangle came from the word Zen. My understanding is they want you to think of their process as yoga for the mind. So I just think of it as drawing for relaxation. So however you want to think about it is fine. So just in a few minutes, we created an interesting pattern. It's kind of floral-like, and if you want to make it into a flower, then make it into a flower. But whatever you create from that seed where you just feel, oh, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. Let's see what this will do. And no telling what patterns and things you'll come up with. Well, if doing it freehand makes you a little uncomfortable and you think, well, I'd really like to have a little structure when I work on this, well, then I'll show you how to do that. It's still very therapeutic, but for those of you who really like structure, I like to take the stress out of things. So the first thing is, well, how do we find the center of the paper? You take a ruler, because I don't want to fold my paper. If I fold my paper, there'll be a crease. I'm going to draw it lightly with a pencil. I think you can see it because I'm going to erase the pencil after my ink dries. So, okay, there's an X. So I know where my seed's going to go. There's my center. Okay? If that's enough for you, then that's fine. But some people really like to have the circles drawn as well. And I introduced this compass. It was a few, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it's a safety compass. I'll put that in the notes after this airs. But you put the brass ring over the seed or the center dot, and you hold it. Now, if you want small circles, you hold the arm. I'll do a small circle first. So let's do one out here. So that part spins. Okay, then I'm going to hold this. The reason why you want a dot in the center is because if this slips, you want to know where you're going back to. This was the best compass I ever had for middle school kids because they couldn't hurt themselves. Okay, or anybody else. So pick a hole out here. I'm using a mechanical pencil because it's got a tiny point. Okay, so I just spin that around. This will go to 10 inches, which I actually love. See how I'm lifting up and getting my hand out of the way? However large you want your circle. So that is enough for what we're going to do, and we won't do that whole thing, but you'll get the idea. All right, now I'm going to shift to pen. I have my seed already started. Oh, and if you want to do two more, here, I'll go ahead and do that. Oops, let me do it with pencil. To make sure that you are perpendicular to your paper, these pink lines, you line that up with the edge of the paper. Your math teachers love this. Line that up with the edge of the paper, and then this line will be perpendicular to this. So I'm going to draw a line through the center there, and then I'm going to match that. See, that pink line is on that line, so this line will be perpendicular. So now I have evenly divided my page into 8, and some people just find that very comforting. So if that's you, awesome. So whatever, again, you have your pattern. You can even draw this in ink and then put like another sheet of paper on top so that it shows through. But I'm just going to do it today on top of the ink. On top of the pencil. Sorry, ink on top of the pencil. I decide how big I want my beginning. I'm going to consider that my root or sprout, I guess would be more it. Okay, you can start out and come in. To me, I can just repeat that a little easier and keep the size the same. Okay, what do I want to do this time? Well, now that I have things I can aim at, I might want to just do a curve that crosses over here. And if I could speed up a live, I would do that for you so you wouldn't be going, oh my word. Okay, so that's kind of cool. What do I want to do next? Let's do an echo line next to that. Again, anything is fine. Don't try to make it into anything. Don't give yourself a hard time if, oh, I went the wrong way, or that one's too fat or too skinny. Just say, it is what it is, and move on to the next line. I might want, let's do a teardrop shape. You can rotate your paper, whatever is more comfortable for you. I just find it much more comfortable to rotate rather than move my hand around. This allows me to feel the shape of the objects and makes it easier. Less to worry about. You can echo inside things. You can add pointillism and texture and color and anything. So my students, it was crazy. I had 33 in a classroom, and when they learned this, it was so quiet in the room when they were working. I loved it. It was also a great thing to do when in the weeks of testing, which are always my not so great weeks. I don't miss that part at all. If each of the students had some square paper when they finished testing, and I had to show them how they could make a piece of paper. I had to make a square out of a piece of paper. And then they would do this when they finished testing. It would just help them unwind. So again, same kind of thing. And I could keep going and going and going. And I will for a little bit. But I do want to show you a few others that I've started. This one I just did earlier today, just to practice and get a feel for having that Zen feel. And this one was done with light pencil. So after you create one, and then you want to get rid of the pencil, as long as you didn't draw heavy, and you can erase carefully and not crumble up your paper. This is a kneading eraser. It just happened to be one of the closest ones I had. So, if you're going to color it, then I always had the students erase the lines of the pencil before they color it. And then the pencil is not distracting. You can use pencil in the shading, just like we did in the flying shapes when we were doing single point perspective. And you can just have a lot of fun with this. I did it again. You can get a lot of joy out of this. So this one was drawn earlier, pencil lines erased. It also, again, had the circles from your compass. You can get circles from anything. It can be glasses. It can be my sharpener. So whatever helps you in that process. All right, here's another one that I started a while back, and it kind of got me inspired to do that little spiral thing. So I'm going to come back here and continue on. So you can put these down and pick them up later and just say, oh, I need to work on, I want to work on that, or I just need to unwind a little bit. If you need to unwind a little bit, then pick up a piece of paper and start drawing. It's a great way to relax. If you don't know what I'm doing, you can go to lesson 1 in this series. It's like the ends of the scrolls that we did. Okay, so this one was all freehand. There was nothing drawn ahead of time. You can even tell because it's even slightly off-centered from the paper. No big deal. Here's another one where I've gone back and added some even dotted lines. Don't forget the dotted lines. Fill in with shading and solid pieces to add more interest. Here's another one. You see I like spirals. And this one, even though I said try not to make it into anything, I mean, the goal is not to make it into, you don't want to stress about trying to make it into something. But if something appears, like these birds kind of appeared, so it's like, oh, I'll make it into a bird. Did I have birds planned when I started this? No, I didn't. So I just want you to experience how very calming this can be. And I want you to get out a piece of paper and pen, and I want you to give it a try. See, even little dotted lines that echo. So check it out. Relax. Have fun. I said that again. Oh well. All right, I'm going to pull back this one so you can have a better view and see how I've shaded with the pen where I barely touch with the pen, so it becomes very light. So that's hatching, if you remember from one of the lessons. The darker interior, hatching on the light edge, shading in different bits. Anyway. All right, so I'm going to shift back now to where you can see me, and I'm going to talk to you just a minute about some things that are coming up. And thank you again for following me on this drawing journey. Today's a little short, but I hope it's beneficial. I just didn't want to overload with too many things. Sometimes I try to cram so much in that I'm overloaded, and you can be too. So, but it's just fun. It really is. Sorry. I'm going to really work on that. I am excited to tell you that I'm going to be focusing some on the plein air painting that I'll be doing soon. Plein air, P-L-E-I-N, is painting outside. It's en plein air. And being outside is going to be wonderful this time of year. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today, which is pretty insane for early March. But I'll be heading to Florida in the near future to spend some time with some friends and to take part in the Forgotten Coast on plein air event, and learning from Nancy King Mertz how to work with pastels. And I've taken several workshops from other artists, but I haven't taken one from her, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to be videoing some things while I'm down there. I'm going to continue posting on Fridays. I'm not necessarily at 2 o'clock, but there'll be a new video every Friday, whether I'm here or gone and out venturing. But everything that I put on this channel will be for inspiration for you, things that I've learned, techniques that have been helpful, and sometimes it's things I struggle with. This morning I videoed another one that was a little more personal about things that I was having issues with, you'll see that probably next week. But regardless, I am so grateful for the time that you spend with me because I know you have a lot of choices. And if I can help in any way, please comment, send me a note, tell me what you're doing, show me your pictures. I am so excited. I have 2 of my students that can actually come in person who have been taking the drawing online, and then I just help them expand on that when they're here. So if you're interested in that, check out my website and see what spots are available. That would be in local Middle Georgia if you're in the area. But it has been a journey for me to dedicate myself to give you something every Friday at 2. And it's forced me to learn some things that I've been putting off, and being on live was one of those things. So as you learn, I'm learning. And as I continue filming, I hope that they will be of benefit to you and the quality will continue to improve. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm out of here.